It's Friday night or Friday morning?
Friday morning. Yeah, we had about 25.
Yeah, I think we'll catch on again.
Go. Honestly, Leanne, always something. No. Yeah. No, she has to go to the bathroom. Yeah, she has to go to the bathroom. So
Morning coffee catches up with you.
my mic is on.
You gotta get that before you start.
It's on.
They used to have it, they don't anymore.
No, I think
No.
that's COVID.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
COVID really
Yeah,
did
that
not
sort of
allow-
changed everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I bring mine.
Yep. Oh, thank God. You're all by yourself in that row.
See, you stood up in front, they all stopped talking.
Yeah, I see that. I will wait for Leanne to make her way back to us before we start our.
And that one's all pin ready to go. So I'm halfway through quilting mine.
Bev, is that not quilted yet?
Not yet.
My goodness.
Not
I mean,
yet. You know how big that one was?
yeah, I know.
103 square.
Something by 95, by one I've done for my brother.
Yeah. Oh my God.
That's big. That's a really big one.
Or a tablecloth and stick it on my wall.
Oh, I bet. Bet you did. My gosh.
I couldn't get it all up on the wall.
Mm-hmm.
I had to put it up and look at it because Karen had come in, she said that clock was turned the wrong way.
Oh,
Because it's an optical illusion.
yeah. Yeah, that can very easily happen, and I find sometimes the more I look at it, the worse it gets. That I will miss something, or yeah, absolutely. Ladies, can I introduce Leanne? She has arrived, isn't she?
What a smarty pants, isn't she just?
Is your mic on?
I did turn it on.
Good job, pal.
Hopefully that's a good start, right?
Yes. Welcome, everybody.
Good morning,
Thank
gang.
you. Thank you. Thank you. So exciting to
Saturday
have
morning,
everyone.
demos are back. There's
Yep.
things I'd forgotten about. Not forgotten about any of you guys. So wonderful to see so many familiar faces that I haven't seen in a while. But great to have you here.
It is wonderful.
Tammy's been lucky to have done the last couple of demos. I've been watching them on Facebook Live. So
Yes. So we've been paired up once again.
you guys are very brave being here today.
Yes, because you never know what kind of nonsense and shenanigans that Leanne and I can get up to.
Come on in.
Come on in. Welcome. So, I don't know if some of you have seen the last newsletter that was out, and there was some talk in the newsletter about Leanne and I doing a demo together.
See, Tina knows she
Tina
read.
knows.
It
There
was a
we
quiz
go. That's what
almost.
we want to see.
There's this crazy
So-
rumor about us having a difference of opinion.
Yeah,
That
there
doesn't ever
could
happen,
be
does it?
Some sort of smackdown going on, so I am prepared. There you go.
And the crazy thing is, I'm a right-handed person. She's given me the left mitt. I think I'm at a disadvantage. This is wrong.
I said to her yesterday, this is not my problem. It sounds like a you problem, Leanne. You're going to have to work through it.
Oh my
So-
goodness. So all in
Because,
fun,
yes,
everybody.
Leanne and I approach things a little bit differently.
We are a full-service quilt shop. Doesn't matter
That's
what you're
right.
looking for. We've got somebody who can chat to you about it,
About
right?
something different.
Except boxing.
So, anyhow, all in fun.
Yes, absolutely.
But we do want to, present kind of two different ways of looking at things.
And that helps to give that much more information
Yes.
to all of you guys.
That's right.
But it's funny how many times I'll say the word batik, and Tammy starts to twitch.
I get a rash.
She gets a rash, and she says applique, and I go, what? It's an A word. I don't know enough about it. Or if
Yeah.
I mention the word heat and bond applique, again, I'm sending just a shiver down her spine. So we're happy to share all different kinds of things with you guys. But guess what? Guess what we do come together on? Studio 180 rulers.
Right. We have. I
I've
have been
swung
pulled to the
over
dark
to the
side.
dark side.
Yes. Well, now in fairness, not a lot of, I've done a couple of the Studio 180 quilts,
Yes.
but what I have really enjoyed doing and teaching now is how to convert a regular pattern to using your Studio 180 rulers. And the accuracy that we get when we're using them is incredible.
What do we call that in class? We call that tuckerizing, don't we?
Tuckerizing, yes. So
So
there's
we all like to do it.
quite a few of them that we have done that with. So
Come
on in.
Good morning, Marie.
There we go. Right in the
Yep.
front. There you go. Yeah.
How are you? Good,
So-
good.
I'm going to just get
But
to
that's
this
not
one
actually
heading.
what today's all about.
No, it's not.
I
Leanne
said
and I
some
can
relief.
digress so easily.
Yeah, we
After
don't very
19
often
times.
follow a script. What happened
No.
yesterday was yesterday.
Yeah,
Today
that
can be a
was-
totally different show.
That's right. Today is all about pressing. And
Pressing matters.
pressing does matter. Thank you. The techniques that we can use and the difference that it makes in our quilts when you press properly. And properly might mean something different to me than it does to Leanne. When you're pressing batiks, as
You see?
you knew that was going to come up, you knew it. I mean,
But look at how beautiful they can turn out.
they're gorgeous. There's a difference between pressing batiks and pressing regular quilting cottons. There just is. I'm not going to say they're yucky. They're not. They're lovely.
Thank you.
But it is different.
Yes, so the process of making them, etc., creates a different feel in the product, as well as a lot of times a different thickness.
That's right.
And how you handle the thickness in your seams and how you press them can make a big difference in the end result. So that's kind of what we wanted today to be about, is how we share different kinds of things about what we do, what we share with classes, what we want to share with you guys, to help everybody find something extra that maybe helps to push their projects just a little bit farther along in accuracy, presentation, or how it goes to your long arm quilter,
Right.
who we need to keep happy, don't we? If we do the quilt by
yes.
check thing, we need to keep them happy. And if we're
right.
quilting things ourselves and we want to find out ways to make the quilting process turn out a little bit better, the pressing is equally, in my mind, as important as the cutting,
Yes.
the stitching with a 1/4 of an inch seam, the using the right tools along those steps, as well as the pressing and then whatever your
and
next
the squaring
steps.
up
Yes.
your block. When quite often I've had students that will say to me, they've completed it is a 1/4 inch seam. I've done my pressing. Why is this not lined up? And we have to look at it and say, okay, did we square the block?
Or
that
did it get
all-
distorted when it was
you were
being pressed?
So
All of
there's all
those
these
can be.
different things.
Oh, we don't stand a chance, do we?
Also squaring up the units within the block is
That's
most
correct.
important.
That's the
very
part
good.
I love,
Yes,
because that's what
so-
my rulers help me with, right, everybody? The
All about
components.
Leanne. Okay, so
Wrong. You're equally onto all of that. She's so precise in everything she does, everybody. Do not let her tell you differently.
well, now I think yesterday we started out, and then we ended up down this rabbit hole of pressing open or from side left to right.
It is a conundrum.
It is, and I think I'd like to do a poll in this
Yes?
group just
Okay.
to see
Sure, yeah.
where we
Okay.
stand.
Okay.
But it matters on the project, right? So if it's really small pieces, you must do open.
Oh, but what do we do first?
What do you mean do first?
You have to shorten that stitch
Oh,
length
well, of
if it's a
course.
small, but not
Yes.
everybody would do that,
Right.
right? So that's something that you have to remember.
Right.
Pressing open, though,
So-
some people, if
so-
they're a long armor,
The two things apply differently on the project.
they
So-
can.
Mm-hmm.
They can. some long armors say they don't want them open.
And
some say
I've
they
heard
don't.
that it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. Stitch
For
in the
the-
ditch.
Yes, stitching in the ditch can be
It's
a
Good when it's open.
That's right, but
It
some
also
people-
helps when you shorten up your stitch length for
Yes.
your piecing, because the quilting usually has longer stitch lengths.
Right.
So it's not like as you're going in the ditch, you're going to hit every single thread from your piecing all the way along. But if you're quilting something yourself and you've pressed your seams open, think about stitching your quilting stitches right beside your open seam. It
Yeah.
provides some stability for the block, provides the dimension of what
Yeah.
quilting does.
That's right.
And you're not worrying about your threads that particular way. But I am finding that so many more patterns, especially if you're doing something with lots of points and stars. And doesn't that just sound like me? If there's a lot of fabric that's coming together in little tiny points, pressing them open makes such a difference in dispersing the bulk.
Your bulk is not there.
Yes, so that can go a long way to making that
Right.
flatter, tidier. It's less lumpy and bumpy underneath the ruler as well. So if you're using a ruler to trim your block up after the fact or trim your components up, if you've got a lot of seams going in one direction, your ruler sometimes sits slightly askew. So that can help as well, pressing your seams open.
Even for ruler quilting, if you're doing your own ruler quilting.
Yes.
open is better.
Because the whole thing is a little flatter and there's less of the thud 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 as it
Yes,
hits.
as it hits
It hits
something.
another mountain that it has to get up and over, right?
That's right.
So my favorite tool for pressing things open is my strip stick, my very well used strip stick. When you buy it, it doesn't look like this. It looks like this. But this shows how much I live and breathe for using with my strip stick. There's a shorter
And a
one
short one.
and a longer one. The idea with this is, if nobody's ever seen it in action, it is flat on one side and it is rounded on the other. So the idea is you put whatever your seam is that you want to be pressing with your iron, that seam goes right over top of your strip stick, and only that seam is exposed to being opened, and then you run your iron, you lift and move your
You're
iron
hopping along.
along that whole
Yeah.
seam to press it open, and you're not disturbing any of the other pieces within your block. Even if you're just starting out pressing something and I'm pressing everything open, I still, even if it's just the beginning half square triangle or something, it's so nice to open it right down to the stitches, which I have shortened up my length every time I turn on my machine. I go from a 2.5 that it defaults to down to a 2.0. I sew everything.
Right.
A lot of times I don't know which direction I might want to be pressing, but I just find that it looks better, it lays flatter within the block, and you have less gaps between your threads. Think about how if you've got a long stitch length, you've got more space in between where the fabric can pull and pucker and open, etc. If it's closer together, it's going to stay a little firmer.
Right.
And it certainly is going to help along the edge of a block. So if you've got things out at the very edge of your quilt, you don't want them to be coming apart when your seam is pressed open, when your stitch lengths might be a little bit too long. So shortening up helps with all of that as well. And there's another
Another new strip
stick.
pressing. This one is a little larger, but it has the wool on it. This I was finding making some bags. So when you're using some heavier interfacing, like the bosal or the inner form, having something that has a little more, just a gentler sort of a.
See, it's taller.
It's taller.
It's wider.
So when you have something that's heavy and you're trying to press that, this gives that nice edge. Plus, it's wool. So what that's doing is that's holding that heat in. You're getting that nice flat open seams when you're working on them.
We know with the wool, because it heats up so nicely, it's basically pressing your fabric from the top and the bottom, because it holds the heat so well.
Yeah.
So to have it in something like this as well, and for those of you that really like to make bags, right, Debbie? You're going, ooh.
Yeah. Now, here's the thing. We also use the clapper. After you have pressed a seam, you've got one there. Use the clapper. So this is the natural wood.
Yeah.
When you put that on your hot seam, this is going to pull the heat out of that seam. And it's going to make it nice and flat. And even.
Anybody who watches YouTube videos of some of the bigger name
Yes.
instructors, designers, etc.
all
out there,
use
they're
them.
all bringing clappers into it now. I've been using mine for a long time. I have mine right back
got
from
them?
high school days.
Talking about opening the seam. I don't know how many of you got Marcy Baker's email this week, but she had said that if you're going to do an open seam, she said press it closed first.
To
one
set your
side,
seam.
To set your seam.
Absolutely.
And then open it and press it over
Yes.
on
Absolutely.
whatever means you wish to do it.
Yeah.
She
Right.
said it will stay where you put it if it's already warm.
Yes. So setting seams is something I chat about a lot in my
Yeah.
classes. It helps to.
My God, she is going to smack her. Look at that.
I don't know if this is going to do anything for me. I don't know.
That's right.
Medieval times, right?
Oh dear.
Very good, Bev.
Well done. Well done.
Yes, I do recommend setting seams where you're warming up
Absolutely.
your threads, warming up
Yep.
your fabric. It sinks the thread in a little bit into your fabric. And think about when you're manipulating your fabric up and over a thread and another layer of fabric, whether it be going two different directions or all in one direction, anything that can create less bulk in there is going to be a good thing.
It
Absolutely.
is. And really think about it. When you are pressing, that tiny little bit that you might not be getting flat, the difference over 3 or 4 units within a block can make a difference for your accuracy. And that's really what we all want is the accuracy in making our blocks and having them. So, you miss out on a 16th. Well, you do
Multiple
do
times.
that 4 times and
It
look at
adds
where
up.
you're at.
Yep.
Right? It adds up very quickly. So taking the time to press really well, press whether you're open or closed,
Yep.
whichever you prefer. Use your.
Now, this is not just
Clapper.
a weapon. This is
No,
something new
no,
that
this is-
Tammy has
But
found.
what I did want to just mention before, because I forgot to say this yesterday. Stop. There's wood on the back of this. So after I have pressed here, I can put that down and just hold it for a minute if it's a longer seam and my long clapper.
So the wood on the
wood on
bottom
the
of
bottom
this is helping
is
to
helping.
again draw
So
the
I can
heat
just-
and the steam out.
Yeah,
If you are a
and-
steamer, it
Well,
works with the
that's-
steam as
yeah.
well. That was another great debate
Oh
yesterday.
boy, was it ever.
Oh.
Steam or no steam? Water in the iron.
Almost
no
divided
water.
the room.
Yes, yeah. So this particular clapper, I got this quite some time ago. It's great when the block is completed. And, our regular clappers cover
Yeah, it'll cover much more of a block.
of a block.
If it's a 16-inch block, it's not going to do the whole thing, but
No, but it
certainly
does,
more space than this.
Yeah, it does.
Or you work in tandem, you have a
Yeah.
couple of them together that are helping.
But it makes such a difference just using a clapper to press.
See a YouTube video talking about pressing using the block,
Yes,
and they showed 2 piles.
yes.
One without using it, and one with using it.
What a
Pat,
perfect segue.
We are so far ahead of that. Look at what we have here. Okay.
She has pieces to show you.
I certainly do. So really what I wanted to,
Those will be in her sweatshirt next month.
yeah.
Keep them away
I
from
have been doing
Tina.
that, Yes. What really started this whole thing is I got my hands on these little water markers. Okay?
Oh yeah, I've seen something.
It looks like just a plain marker. You fill it up with what was supposed to be just water in it.
Some of the girls have been using it.
Oh yes. Now I do 50-50. I won't use 100% just because it's too dear to be using it.
Well, you can make it go farther,
Yeah,
and you
make it go a
don't
lot
need
farther.
it that concentrated. You
Right.
can water it down a little bit, and it's a small
So
container.
what this was originally used for is when you're marking your quilt for any sort of quilting on it, and it's a water soluble, so you want to just take that away, the markings away once you've quilted, and you don't want to saturate your quilt, you just would use this with a little bit of water in it, and that would gently remove the markings, which was great. Then I saw somebody do something brilliant. They would, hold that, thanks, Vanna. So what? Exactly.
One of my blocks.
So
Then you can really demo.
what I'm doing is I was just taking a little bit with my little pen here, and I would run a thin line right up that seam
Where the
before I pressed
threads
it.
are.
Where the threads are, right on that thread line.
Not the whole block.
Take my wool mat, because I love my wool mat. I think I can't press without that. I think it's brilliant. And I would press, and you would have this perfectly flat seam, and it stays flat. Now,
And she hasn't pressed these seams open, so these are to one
Yes.
direction, and they're still nice and flat and not super lumpy and bumpy, and they stay flat.
now look at this.
For those of you in the back row, it's really not a disaster. It's just different.
So what we're showing is
difference.
taking that little extra step, which to me, you know, at first I was like, oh, I don't have time. I have how many blocks to do?
But
When I saw the actual difference, and I thought, okay, you know what? That makes a huge impact on how this is going to come together. This particular quilt has got so many components that are all interlocked.
pretty.
It's very pretty, but they all have to interlock to each other.
But you could set up your TV table and watch your show and do that at night between commercials.
Yeah. I want these have to all be able to fit together perfectly, because as I say, they all make up, you know, this star unit is then going to be made up down here with
The secondary
secondary
pattern's going to
pattern.
be amazing.
It's a beautiful pattern.
Stay tuned. I'm sure
Oh,
there'll
yeah,
be a
it'll
class
be-
coming. This is just a little tease.
But
But wait, there's more. It had to come out sometime today. It did.
I know.
It's a little step, but it can be an important one.
I think it's a really important one. Now,
And-
unfortunately, I'm going to tell you guys, we got cleaned out, ravaged, I might say,
Yesterday.
yesterday
Yeah.
for all of our pens.
But there's more
And-
coming.
I've got a specific sheet there to please put your name on so that we've got them ordered and they will be coming.
We'll let
but
you
then
know
I can
when
let you know immediately.
when they're in.
So not just do we have this one that has kind of the fat tip on it.
It's like a sponge, you said.
Yeah, like a marker, you know, like a highlighter. That's the feel of it. We've got a nice little precision one. I don't know if you can.
If you want to be working in smaller pieces.
Yeah, if you can kind of see how small that piece is. So when you're doing things like our simple whatnots, you know, the little tiny pieces that you're working with, I found it.
Sample there, Leanne.
Yeah, this I found really helpful for
Smaller.
this guy when I was doing this. These tiny little ones, I found this head was just too fat for me, and I liked having this little one, and it pressed all of these so flat and beautifully, and all of the orange peels around it to applique it, and it just helped keep them. Sorry,
it was just a reflex.
It's just deep breathing.
Oh, I know. Goodness.
Sometimes you have.
Yes, you absolutely could.
And it would only put a little bit
Little
of
bit.
moisture instead of soaking the whole thing and
That's
distorting
correct.
it.
So this is the third tip that is in this the package. They come in a package of 3. This one is it releases with the amount of pressure you add on this, and it's a paintbrush kind of an idea. Okay, so this one you can really hit precision because this can be nice and flat. Okay, so that It all depends on
Everyone
what
has
it
a
is.
different spot
Yeah,
where it'll
that
work
you're
best.
working, that it will work best for you.
I think the little package of the three of them was $15.99.
Yeah.
So not
Yeah.
overly expensive, and I mean, you're refilling it
Yes.
with stuff that you already
And-
have, either water or Best Press or whatever.
Yeah.
You don't have to buy a whole new pen.
No, it's
and
all refillable.
Multi-sizes makes
yeah.
a big difference.
Okay, so the next one, and I know this is also going to upset Leanne, but
See,
we're
I
going to do
can
it
touch
anyway.
regular cotton. I do sew with
No, it's
regular
applique.
cotton. I know it's applique, but that's okay. I've gotten past it. I am so over it.
Okay, I got it.
So, this one, what I did, if you could turn it for me. Thank
Certainly.
you ever so much. Along here is the applique stitch lines. And what I did is I just gently ran my pen
Yep.
around it and just pressed from the back, not from the front, and just gave it a nice press all the way around the applique. Now, the reason I did that is we have got a lot of layers going on in this particular block. You've got the 4 patch in the back. We have this patch. There is Pellin 30 that's underneath,
Interfacing.
interfacing.
Yeah.
I want
And
this to...
all the piecing
and
alone, all the
piecing
seams
with
and the piecing.
seams, right? So there's a lot in here. And I really wanted this to lay nice and flat because by the time I get this quilted, if it's, like you say, lumpy and bumpy, it's not going to have the same look, I think. So this one is not pressed. And you can see that difference.
So it's got a little bit more poof to it, a little bit more elevation.
Yeah. Now, this also helps to hide your stitches. If you have,
If anybody's ever looked at any of Tammy's applique, you can't see your stitches to begin with.
Well.
But what this did do, and I examined it carefully yesterday.
the microscope
I needed-
involved people.
I needed to know what I was looking at and look like I could talk the talk, right? So I said, what I see it's done is it's actually pressed the fabric over top of her tiny minuscule stitches so you really don't see them. Not only does it flatten it, but it completely hides the little tiny
Yeah.
stitches underneath that edge there.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
All hands.
Oh, did you hear that? Oh, yes.
Yes. We don't
That's why you
machine.
can hide it better too.
Yeah. But it, to me, you know, this piece
little-
when it's done, I wanted it to be a,
It's a little crisper looking.
yeah. You know?
I mean, this is a bit more traditional looking applique, which is gorgeous in
Yeah.
itself. But there's nothing wrong with trying some new methods and
Yeah.
ramping up the degree of difficulty. There we go with some Olympic speak.
Oh, boy.
But also ramping up the end result,
Yeah.
right? Of
what you
what
can
you
actually
can
get
do.
and how this can look. And this particular quilt is going to have, I believe it's 30 I'm doing. I think I have 7 left to do.
I know. There's a lot of jaws dropping here.
Yes, of these blocks. But you run these all together, and they're going to look phenomenal.
This is Lori Holt's hometown sampler, right?
Yes, it's a sampler.
Yeah.
And it's been a lot of fun. But when I got started on it, and I thought, you know what, this is going to be a big one. This will be about 100 by 100 by the time I'm done.
16-inch blocks.
Yes, and they're heavy. This is heavy. Imagine when I get this whole thing put together. The weight
It will be a
of
weighted
it.
blanket, won't
Yeah.
it? Yeah.
Anyhow,
But-
I just want to have it nice and flat. But this gives you a really good idea of
Yes,
just
the difference.
what that pen and that pressing can do for you, and how it gives you that
Pass the
nice.
sign-up sheet. We're all gonna buy it.
Yeah.
Well, it's worth a try to find
Those are something
what
else.
works and
And
helps
I'm-
for the kinds of things that
Yeah.
you make.
Yeah.
And we never know something. I mean, nobody knew what a rotary cutter would do until it was first
Yeah.
invented and first tried, right? And now we couldn't imagine living without
Yeah.
it.
I'm not
But-
a big proponent of having a lot of gadgety things. There are certain things.
Where's Wilma, our gadget queen?
But I have certain things that I cannot
Yeah.
live without. That I think that's it.
When we know that they work,
They work. That's what I want, and I'm comfortable with it. so when I saw this, and this was introduced to me, at first, and it was my dear sister-in-law who shows me so many wonderful things. And at first I was like, Kath, I don't know. Actually, she might be watching. Anyhow, at first I thought, I don't know about this. I'm going to have to, tried it. And the next thing I know, I'm standing here doing a demo, and we're getting sold out of them because it has made such a difference in my pressing and the way that my blocks are laying. Crows over here, I did the entire crow quilt using that method, and it turned out so it's flat, it's nice and clean lines. So there you go.
It also will help with to keep things from getting distorted. When we talk about pressing, we're not talking heavy-handed ironing or any of this kind of
We're not
swishing.
ironing our pillowcases and that sort of thing.
If you want to iron out some frustrations, dig out something that's a heavy cotton. Don't bring out your quilting that you want to be working on. But all of these steps can make such a difference, and not distorting your pieces along the way goes a long way in having things fit and be the size that we want them to be.
You can hold yours.
Thank you. Thread, we love thread, right? And it becomes a big part of what we're piecing as well.
A lot of times we have customers that come in and they'll say, what kind of thread do I use? What's the best? To me, I was always an Aurifil. I was a slave to Aurifil. That was all I would use. I actually believe I was once called an Aurifil snob.
Really?
Yeah, it's true. However, Tammy introduced me to Quilters Select, and this is a 60 weight.
So you guys know with the Aurifil, the color of what's on the base of the thread determines the weight of it. So if you want a 50 weight thread, you're always looking for the orange bottom on the spool of thread.
So, and remember, the number 50 is the lower the number, the thicker the thread.
So if you're going up in number,
the thinner the thread.
So 60 weight is thinner.
It is just as strong. It is a cotton thread. It is excellent. I have found piecing it plus my pressing has elevated my work even more.
Because again, it's a little bit less of something taking up
space in it.
Within your pressing, your seam allowances, etc.
Price point, what's the meters on that?
1,300 meters, 1.3 kilometers. I haven't tested that. I've not run down the road with a spool of thread yet, but that's what they tell.
Kilometers?
No, 1.3 kilometers, 1,300 meters.
All right.
Don't forget, we're old enough. We learned imperial. We had to learn metric, didn't we?
This is 400 meters. Okay, so it is a smaller spool.
But it's a good size for testing if you want to try it.
It is. Price point $8.99. So for me, I'm sorry? It is when you kind of work out the math.
And depending on how much of this lovely variegated pink you're going to use.
What I found is I used to be like the what color was that? Light khaki.
Yes.
Is the one I would always use.
2,900. 2,900. I go to.
Because I thought that one always works with everything.
Everything. Yeah.
This one, that was made me nervous because I thought, am I gonna see this? Am I,
Because it's lighter, is it gonna stand out more?
Beautifully. It just melds right into the fabric, and I have not had a complaint. Price point.
Go by number?
No, these actually go by color. Yeah.
Again, something we're recommending, give it a try if it's of interest to you. If you need a new spool and you're looking for a neutral color.
Try it and see.
I wouldn't use something that fine for quilting my layers together.
No,
you want to go a thicker thread if you're doing quilting.
Yeah.
Like that's all you live and breathe for is quilting your quilts.
Yeah.
You want a thicker thread so that you can see a bit more of the presence of the thread, either in color or in dimension. But for piecing, to go with a thinner, finer thread for piecing
It makes a
can
big
work
difference.
really well for that. So it's,
Colors
again, fun
are
to try.
also more colors that you can get with the Quilters Select. They've got a nice range of colors.
There's more colors than Aurifil?
I don't know. I don't know. I think they're better colors.
One word difference. I don't know.
So,
But-
Quilter Select also has an 80 weight, which some people use for their applique,
And embroidery.
and embroidery.
Yes.
I like the 80 weight. I have tried it for my applique. I like anywhere between 80 to 100 weight. I like the nice fine silk thread.
You
that
need
I'm
a
working
magnifying glass to see it.
with. Anyhow,
But guess what? That also makes tiny invisible stitches
right.
on
It
applique
makes a big
that everybody else oohs and ahs over. When you can't see your stitches, part of that too is a finer thread.
we've got nice colors in the Quilter Select. of
Just
that.
glossed right over that.
I did. Anyhow, there you go.
All sorts of tips and tricks, ladies. Lots of things.
and lots.
And we didn't show
No,
this guy.
this new guy,
So when we're talking about wool mats,
because I mean, if a lot of you have probably done retreats or classes or things like that. So, nice size for when you're pressing. But here's the exciting part.
a cutting mat on the other side. And look how pretty that is.
I have not. I can say that, Pat. I have not used it. It is Quilters Select. I really stand behind them. Their products have been amazing.
Yeah.
We know how much, if we're pressing with steam, how much the steam goes through.
Okay,
the wool
so
Good
hold on.
question.
It's a very good question, and this has a special layer
A barrier?
mat.
in
Yes.
Stop the
with
water
this.
from
That's
getting through
correct.
that.
Yeah.
That's right. So it really is a multi-purpose kind of a tool if you want to go away.
One less thing to carry.
It's one.
Carrying 3 things.
That's right. That's right.
It's a
Or, I mean, even at home, if you want to have it sitting beside you on your table.
TV
when
tray like you were
like you're
talking about.
saying, you know, you press on one side and then you got a bunch to
ATV trays we
to
installed.
trim.
That's
So
right.
these are new, and they're great. I think
Size
we've.
is it? Square?
This is 14 by 14.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how much is it, Shannon?
It,
It's a combination wool mat and cutting
so
mat.
$124.99. Okay. Before I forget, there's another thing because we talked about
Iron related.
with pressing and
Yeah.
using the starch and whatnot. Sometimes you can get your iron gunky, and it's we mustn't have that because
We mustn't have that.
well, nobody wants it barfing up brown stuff onto your white.
It's going to happen
You know
on
it's
white.
happened.
You know it's going to
Everyone here
happen on
has
white.
had that happen.
Yep.
At some point, you
And I've tried regular water, RO water, distilled water, all that kind of stuff. Eventually, it will come out the holes on the bottom of your iron, won't it?
yes.
Or if you applique with any kind or iron with any kind of interfacing that gets stuck on the
Stuck
bottom
onto it.
of your iron as well.
This is what we're.
Yes.
This is where we are now. Leanne has the iron cloth that you.
There's a bunch of them in here.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. It's almost like a
It's a
dryer
little bit
sheet.
like a
That's
dryer
it. Yeah,
sheet,
little
but
like a
yeah, it's got
dryer
a
sheet.
better, it's a bit of a cleaning agent
Yes.
in it.
And
So
that
you
rubbed
put it
on.
on top of a towel, a hand
Yeah.
towel or something like that, and you run your
run your-
iron over it.
over it.
And I was saying yesterday, I will even put it on the edge of my ironing board and scrape my iron this
So-
way, so you can really get sort of an edge onto it.
Yeah. Because you would be surprised what comes off, and when you get some of that gunk that's on there, it can
You don't want it on your fabric.
no.
And it can scorch from the bottom of your iron onto your fabric.
your
It might
fabric.
not even just be a little blurb up, it might be a scorch that ends up in your fabric.
Yeah.
So lots of kinds of things. It's amazing how many people yesterday were going, ooh, when was the last time I cleaned my iron?
Yeah. Now
We're all
this
thinking
one
about it.
is the iron. It's a little bit of a strong smell, so if you're sensitive to smell, that's one thing you do have to be aware of.
Now lots of windows open.
Yeah, you'd be fine. Do it quickly. Anyhow, this one is almost like a paste, and you rub it in
The iron,
this,
that's the old iron off.
and
Yes.
and
Yep.
it cleans. That's right.
Yep.
That's right. But I guess it's kind of the new and improved magic
Yes.
iron off, like you said.
It's like the next level. This is a, you
Yeah.
know, a quick test
Yeah.
if it'll come off with this kind of thing. If it really doesn't,
But
then
this does
that-
really.
I've not
clean an
found
iron.
anything that won't get off.
Yeah.
But every sole plate of the iron seems to be different, right? I bought a pretty glossy purpley one, and it stuck just as bad as the Teflon one. You
Yeah.
know, all of these get things stuck on the bottom
Yeah.
of them.
The edge of your iron. Sometimes, if you're not, you don't always look at that. You think you look at the sole plate and it looks, oh, it's fine. It's on that edge that just rolls in. That's where you've got to get the nooks and crannies is where to get it out.
One of the
That's where
gals yesterday afterwards was telling me she has an Olaso iron, one of the ones that pops
Yes.
up all the time, and she said that she ended up with quite a bit of lint
Oh,
around the
and
edge,
it
where's
gets
that little
dark.
valley around the edge. So taking one of these guys and running it through there will collect it and clean it
and
all
using
up.
a Q-tip
and
to push it through really gets it all out of that
yeah,
that valley
that
in
lip
there.
around it. Pat's going home and cleaning all her tools.
That's it. That's all we're doing. Oh my gosh. So the next, and not last but not least, we do have a couple of new lines that have come in that we're pretty excited about.
We all love fabric.
Yes.
Love new fabric.
Do we have any Kansas Troubles fans in the? Oh, there we go. So normally they are beautiful blues and mustards and oranges and really deep, lovely autumn.
Country colors.
Yeah. Well, this is the line that Kansas Troubles came out with, and this is called Blackbird's Nest. It's just gorgeous.
It is,
It's
yeah.
just the mixtures of the creams and
Blacks.
blacks. That's all it is. This particular, I think the last one got sold. We really got rampaged yesterday.
We
with
did.
Our
table got
display.
ravaged.
So this is a kit. We do have more to make of this particular one.
It still
got
has a
some-
country feel, Marie,
It
but
does,
it's just
but
it
it's a
gives you a
little-
two-color kind
Yeah,
of
it's just a
visual.
little bit different, and this one's a really pretty one.
Really
There's
sharp.
quite a few different kits and whatnot out there, and I know we did just get more of these patterns in because they've been going like crazy. And this one wasn't necessarily a pillow, but any of you guys that do know me, anything that size, I'm going to make that into a pillow.
Our
I'm
pillow
gonna-
queen.
Yeah, put a zipper in it, and I'm going to put a pillow.
Takes it home
together.
1 week and brings it
Yes.
back the next. And that feeds both your piecing and your applique sole.
That's right.
So it
Okay.
made her very happy.
And I did do a little bit of because I can't leave a pattern alone, I had to make this bird out of wool as opposed to the cotton, just because I needed it was getting lost on here. So I thought with the wool, it just gives it that little bit of a dimension and makes it pop and look.
Do you think Maddie and she work together one day, maybe? Wool, it needs wool, Tammy.
Yeah, it's one of those things.
But it worked beautifully.
It did. It turned out really
Totally
nice.
did that. Yeah.
Tilda fan. I know I have a number one fan in the front row here. So we have the Christmas, the winter kind of line. The blues are out there as well. That's in the summer kind of, and then we have Sanctuary that's coming in, which is also, we have Autumn, as well in the Tilda, and Sanctuary's. What would you say that summery? I don't know what we call it. It's different, but it's coming and it's beautiful.
So it's like different color groupings
Yes.
and different patterns to help highlight each of them.
Exactly. Really
So-
fun thing about Tilda is her patterns are free. If you go on the Tilda's World website, you will get, you can download her patterns for free, which is kind of a nice bonus because quite often
Patterns
that
can
patterns
be pricey.
can be pricey. It
Yeah.
pops that up. This one, again, made into a pillow because
There's your
mine-
Christmas goose, everybody.
That's right. So just made a simple pillow. We have it in this one and the red. The red one's not done, guys. I'm sorry. I know.
It's part way through the quilting. She couldn't take
I
it
couldn't
off the
literally
machine.
take it off. That's where I'm
I'm
at.
sure we'll see it soon.
But this one's super cute. It has the house, the tree, and the snowman. That's the chambray that's in that one. Okay.
Is that chambray in the background?
Yes, it is. Yeah. Yeah. And then we have this one, which when we kind of looked at this is called Magical Winterland. It's not Christmas. It's winter. It's a really cute winter. Don't you think?
Yeah, look at the color of the fabrics in there. They're just beautiful. And the detail and stuff that's on them, it's really, really cute. So there's a couple of kits that have been done up for.
So we've got the table runner, and this is one, I have this one at home on the ready to be put together, so hopefully I'll get it done soon. And it's a good size. It's 64 by 64. So for a winter throw,
Beautiful throw.
it would be really cute. The other thing I was saying is these blocks, they're quite large. They work out to 17 inches. You could build that out a little bit, and guess what you can make? Oh yes, a pillow. There we go. Right.
I'm sensing a theme.
And when you actually look at this, how sweet of a gift, because you can make a nice quilt, a couple of pillows, and a little runner.
I see placemats. We could do placemats and a table runner.
Anyway, just think outside of the box. That's all I'm
Absolutely.
saying.
She sleeps.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so
think
either.
outside of the box. So we also have any Lori Holt fans here? No. What is happening?
None.
Oh my! I'm a little bit distraught. Anyways, I'm going to make you look at it anyhow.
He's so big.
He is big.
He's like the quilted witch. She was huge.
Yeah.
Big.
Yeah. This guy is a bit large. He is 87 by 97. That's a big.
That's a bed-sized quilt. Yeah.
That is.
Or a really big wall.
Yes.
Loses it on a bed, I feel.
Well, it might. Yeah. I mean, I feel like I.
If you've got a
Sleeping with
banister,
somebody.
an upper banister that can hang
what
over
it
down
would-
into
it
the
would feel
hallway
like.
and
Anyway.
decorate for different seasons.
We have. So this one is the quilted snowman. Lori Holt also does a lot of sew-alongs, and she has the Let's Make a Snowman, which is starting this coming week, and it has applique.
Well, there's two versions actually.
Yes.
There's the pieced version and the
Well,
applique.
this is the pieced guy.
Yes.
And then
The applique
The
one
applique
has
one.
some simple shapes, which will
so
be
simple
coming
shapes.
in.
Yep.
But these are the fabrics in what she's calling her hometown holiday line.
Yeah.
And you can certainly look at just the red and green as being holiday related, but they're beautiful colors. They really are. And
Yeah.
some very nice prints on them. They're just luscious.
And these were one thing that she hasn't. She has started doing now is look at your low volumes. She's got 10 to go with this.
With a little ditty of something on them.
Yeah.
Almost all the designers nowadays seem to be bringing a low volume into their collections.
And it makes a difference when you're putting these all together. They just read together beautifully.
They add a little bit of interest to your background. You can still pair them with a plain background in some spots if you want. A lot of them will use the low volumes for stashing strips to add some interest there, or a combination of a plain background and a low volume background in different spots.
Crow was done using her low volumes for the autumn line.
As the
And I
background.
think it gave some dimension to it, right? It gave it kind of a nice look. So we do have some kits available, but apparently I'm falling on deaf ears. There's nobody that likes Lori Holt in this room. I'm a bit hurt.
You said love.
Yeah. Oh.
Thank you.
What else have we got?
There's a relatively new boutique
Yes.
line that came in not that long ago. You see, I had to wait patiently. I was patient. I was waiting patiently. So,
I'm gonna stand behind you.
are you? Okay.
People ooh and
So
ah.
this is the stone fossil line of batiks that came in, and this is one block within one of the new patterns from Studio 180 using the Star 60 ruler called Chrysanthemum. It does kind of, doesn't it? I wanted to test the pattern, test the ruler, teaching a class in it, etc. I did just one of them. And this particular line, I'm using the browns and the tan for that. I did a runner, it's out in the store hanging from one of the headers just over at the back table that I used the darker colors. I did one of the Lori Holt patterns. You'd be very proud of me. It's called Strippy Stars, a sampler of Stitchy Stars.
Stitchy stars.
Okay, whatever it was. Sorry. Stars. That's, yeah, exactly. I knew the stars was in there. And I used the blues and the grays, etc.
And then this
Who
one.
makes those fabrics? Are they Northcott or?
No, these were Bally batiks. Yeah. And I used one of the fabrics. This didn't come from the Fat Quarter bundle, but they're because I needed a bit more yardage. This is actually the block that is in Sherry Heisey's Let's Be Friends sew-alongs this summer. So I had the pattern that this was based on. So she's not quite finished. I think she's done six or 7 weeks.
Yeah.
She's got a little bit more to go.
And you did the 9-inch block.
Yeah, that's what the
Yes.
sew-along is this year.
Oh, okay.
The pattern was originally written with 18-inch blocks.
That's what I was
and she's
thinking,
pared
yes.
it down in the sew-along to 9-inch. But again, think about those low volumes. I use the low volumes as my setting triangle and something that's a bit plainer as the background within the block. And it's a really nice effect. I really like this.
Yeah.
And I'm not making the extra large quilt. I did 4 blocks and a runner on a long weekend, and Bob's your uncle.
Yeah.
And there might have been a ruler involved. There might have been 3 rulers involved.
A lot of things that are tuckerized.
And
Oh, yeah.
I pressed my seams open. I didn't know about the stick. I didn't know about
no, in
her
fairness,
pen. I didn't know about her water pen
I
yet.
mentioned it to you a while back, and I do believe I got a very serious eye roll.
You weren't sharing yours,
think
and
it
we
was
didn't have
just-
them in the store
yes.
yet.
But there was an eye roll until she saw what it
The
actually-
results.
Yes.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But yes, this was another case of a pattern that was tuckerized because of the components just scream for doing that, don't they?
Absolutely.
Um,
Absolutely.
The Star 60 ruler, I have quite a few classes this term that are using that, including the tree skirt one that's up on the top there. It's a really neat process. I'm loving all the different projects that I'm making with that tool. And it was sort of underplayed within the store because it came out late 2019. So we all know what happened in early
right.
2020 and classes shut down. And so I just last year started to bring some of the patterns back into my class calendar. So anybody who's been on the website from the newsletter teasing about all the classes, we've got a really full barrage of classes, lots of things available between my ruler classes and all the different kinds of things that Tammy offers. And Maddie's classes as well.
Maddie's got some wool classes. So this year we're bringing out, and I touched on it briefly with Pat earlier this morning, it's called a PhD program with me. And you can come in for a day and bring in whatever UFO that you have been looking at and thinking, I would really like to finish this, but I have no idea what I'm going to do or how I want to do it.
All of these acronyms, you've got a UFO, come to the PhD class and get it off the NG list.
That's right.
Right?
So, there you go. Yeah. No good. So, I think that we kind of bantered around about this, but I think it's a really good opportunity. You don't have to sign up for all of the classes. You can just come one day. And
It's a nice full day, so you can get
it's
a
a
lot
full
done.
day, and if you have something that you're struggling with and don't know how to complete, need an extra pair of hands, just another set of eyes to get you to
Pick
the
her
next
brain.
step, I'm here.
Have
And
Tammy's brain for a day. Scary thought, but very, very helpful.
So we've got that.
Yeah, and my club classes are open for people to enroll in. You can do that online. There's quite a few of them that have some spaces available. There's information for all of them.
Yeah.
and they're not all advanced by any means. Just because you look at it and say, look at the project, every single one of them, we start back at the, the beginning steps kind of thing, especially based on who's in the class. If it's a new ruler, everybody's learning new at the same time, that kind of thing. There's always review in the classes, and love to have some new people hop into the classes and meet some new quilting friends, because we are all about quilting
I could get
friends.
dragged into the Studio 180 world.
There was no kicking and screaming involved.
I would just like to say I went down that road. Leanne has
Their
not
precision rulers.
come to my side.
Do you hear this
I
from
know.
the floor?
I'm sorry, Marie, you're going to have to go to the back.
I'm a university graduate. I know how well they work.
They do work beautifully. They do.
I would rather
And
cut down and rip out a seam.
Oh,
Maybe
absolutely.
one thing that I have really enjoyed doing when I taught brimming over, which is this quilt here hanging up on the table, I have a wonderful student, graduate in the audience, and we Tuckerize that.
There's so many
I did,
pieces.
because one, there was a lot of waste in the way that the pattern was written.
Yeah, I hate that.
It really is just not for me.
No.
And the accuracy with which those pieces are tiny. I mean, we were doing a 1.5-inch flying geese.
No better
those are-
way than with a wing clipper.
And, and poor Brenda, a few times I know we had some
Words?
we had some sharp words about what we thought about this.
I think I'm going to take a moratorium on the 1.5 inch.
Yes. Yeah.
Big blocks.
Yeah. But honestly, it made such a huge difference to apply those tools to make that quilt and have it turn out the way that it did.
You're going to teach it in the afternoon,
Again? Again? I don't know.
What's the quote called again?
Brimming over.
Brimming over.
So it's a sampler.
Yeah, it
Yes.
is. Yeah, it did. It turned out gorgeous.
Had
I'm
lots of
thrilled with
different
it.
components and steps to
Yeah.
it,
I
etc.
started working on, but it's not that one. I can't think of what it's called.
So another
sampler.
class that I'm going to have this year that's a little different. I am desperately trying to bring people into the applique world and how much fun we can have. The Dresden plate. This is an old
That's gorgeous.
block. It's a really old block, but boy, does it have an impact when you look at it. So this is a simple, if you turn around and look at the flea market flowers at the back, that is actually all Dresden. That's all Dresden plates. That's
Different
what it is.
sizes, different
sizes
colors, and your
shapes.
eye sees it so differently.
So once you learn the technique of putting a Dresden plate together, one thing that I hear a lot of the time is people say, well, I put all my blades together and they're all over the place. Nothing lays flat. I don't want to do it. And so I'm going to be teaching this particular pattern. I'm also going to teach the orange peel again, because that's a very popular one. Another basic shape that you can apply to so many projects. And once you have those kind of down, I feel like it builds that confidence level up that you can then take on. I want to do the tiny ones, right? The tiny little orange peels that are on here. There's a lot of things that you can then apply those that theory to. So that's another class.
I am always sending her pictures of orange peel quilts that I find on
does.
Pinterest that I love the looks of. And I say to her, look at this one. And she says, yeah, well, when are you signing up for the class? I did have plans over the winter
I know,
to
and-
sign
and
up
of
for one,
course
and something
our
got
worlds
in the
all
way.
got busy.
Yes, yeah. But
Starry Log Cabin has been a really popular one. And again, if you can imagine, I Tuckerized it. This,
believe
this
it?
pattern,
Exactly,
was
it
so
screams for that,
ridiculous.
doesn't it?
It was half square triangles, guys. And I looked at it and I thought, oh no, I am not doing that many half square triangles. And the seams, it just didn't look right. So keeping the general idea of the pattern, but switching it out and putting a Lemoyne star in there made a huge difference. Bev, yours was beautiful. Brenda, you did it too. gorgeous. So that's that class is going to be going again.
There's a lot of sewing, but it's not hard sewing.
No, it's
Like,
not.
It doesn't take rocket science.
Do you know what really the key was? Is the organization ahead of time. When you are cutting and putting this one together, I go over that a lot in the prep work and in the class. If you keep it organized and keep everything labeled, why are you laughing at me?
I'm sorry, her whole life is so organized. The tips, she could give Marie Kondo tips on how to be organized. So you'll get that from a class with Tammy
do.
as well.
But
Are
that
you
makes
a Ziploc baggy person?
No.
no.
That's what we didn't bring, was any design boards.
Oh,
We talked about
we
that.
did.
Oh, bummer. Oh, well,
happened to it?
next
Anyways,
month's demo.
Next month. Yeah, we'll talk about
We'll
that.
work that in somehow.
Yeah,
We'll
somehow.
hijack Marilyn's demo next
yes,
month.
and pop in with a. That's
Are you
right.
listening, Marilyn?
Yes. Oh,
She
boy.
might be. She's
Yes,
at
she might
cottage.
be, yes.
So can I do just a quick segue?
Yes.
Lemoyne's. I also
Yep.
have a Lemoyne class
Yeah.
on the calendar.
Yeah.
So for a day, you can come and work on a variety of patterns of your choice for the Lemoyne. It will be about learning the ruler, how to bring it together, the components, whether you put the sashing in between and work on the Scandi pattern. This is a free one, but that's really just all about the pretty pictures. We're not going to make it the way that it shows in the pattern. And I have an old-fashioned Lemoyne quilt that can be done with some snowball corners on the edge that I used my corner pop for. There is a thimble blossoms pattern that is Lemoyne's that's really nice to look at. Again, easy to tuckerize.
Very.
So many different kinds of options. But come for the day, learn how to use the ruler, refresh your memory how to use the ruler if it's been a really long time. And I know quite a few people have done like the table runner with me in the past. Feels like a lifetime ago since I first brought that in. But the Lemoyne Star ruler is lots of fun, isn't it, Colleen? Nod your head. Thank you.
Yes, excellent. Very good.
There's a ton of people here who've done it, but for a lot of us, it might have been a while ago. So it could be just a fun refresher for a day and put it into a new
But one of the
pattern
things that
application.
you do that I think is really important, and I have jumped on your coattails, there's no question at all, but taking a regular pattern and applying all of these tools, because once you have it, it's in there, and you're going to look at a pattern and say, oh, wait a minute.
We know a better way.
Yeah, we can do this in a different way. We can save fabric. When I did Millie's dresses,
Yep.
I
Tuckerize.
was like, I had to tuckerize that. I almost died when I saw what way she wanted us to do that. Like, we're wasting fabric all over the place. No way. So, you know what? You tuckerize that, and the accuracy was phenomenal. And once you do these classes with Leanne, she brings you to that point where you can look at something and say, I know how to apply my corner pop.
Yeah.
You know, and that's
And,
important.
and that's what
It
we
really
want, is to break
important.
down the
Yeah.
components and see how to
And how
approach
to
them a
use it.
different way.
Because you've said this to me before, you don't want to spend a lot of money on a ruler that you're going to use for one thing.
That's where the whole video series came from.
That's right.
But wait,
But wait,
there's
there's
more,
more.
because
You have
there's
to say
got
it
to be
again.
more
That's
you can
twice.
do with it.
Yeah.
I'm not selling Ginsu knives at the Calgary
That's right.
Stampede. I'm
Yes.
This is
But
all about
that's-
getting the most out of your tools.
Yeah, and once you have it and you do a refresher, or you come in and take some of these classes, you're going to be able to look at a pattern and apply it.
Yep.
So,
And there might be new pressing tips involved in classes, guys. Just be ready.
yes.
Everybody be ready. There'll be new pressing tips in classes.
Anyways, we have gone on and on again.
We have, haven't we?
as
Need to
usual.
look at what
We'd
you
love
guys
to
have been
see
doing for show and tell.
what
How
show
many
and tell
big
is.
bags came in?
I saw some big bags.
Not very big there.
Well,
Where's your red hockey bag?
yes, yeah. What have you got
I
for
brought
us?
one in. It was more because I had friction pen problems, but I talked to the other Tammy about
Oh,
it. And I think
okay.
it may,
Oh,
Because it's got
perfect.
to go to
Here, let us-
Australia.
Does it?
Oh, okay.
And the cold of a plane was going to bring all the red marks.
There has been some worry about
yes.
that. Upside down. Let's
Oh.
give it a turn.
There we
was,
go.
Look how sweet
From
this
so long
is.
ago here, but it got quilted on my embroidery machine, thus all the red friction pen marks. Will
Oh,
not go away.
oh, it's sweet.
Spend a lot of time in my freezer. Iron, freezer, iron, freezer.
Really?
Really?
They're not fading.
They're not, eh?
So for those of you who have ever heard about that, there's concern when you use a friction pen as marking on the top of your quilt that the marks don't quite go away as we would want them to. But fortunately, there's lots going on in here. It's not a plain white.
So
Hopefully
it's
that
not going to
distracts.
jump out.
These red marks. I should
Because
have left it.
I don't see anything.
Because it hasn't been in my freezer again.
Oh, okay.
It's got to go. I just ironed it the last time. Then my freezer.
So you know how you should always send a letter of care instructions with a quilt that you gift?
This one is going to be going
Same
to freeze.
thing. Now that it's come off the plane, put it under your iron.
Yeah.
But like a lot of people don't have irons anymore.
No, that's true.
Would you iron your clothes?
Well,
Go
isn't
sit
it
down.
hot?
You're going to have to
Isn't it
sit
hot in
down.
Australia?
Yeah.
Maybe the heat. Maybe it's really sweet, Colleen.
It's beautiful. It's
very
beautiful.
sweet.
Gorgeous.
What fabric line was that?
Oh, that
It
was
was from a
Henry
while
Glass.
ago.
It
Yeah, it
was.
was a
Oh
Henry
my
Glass.
God! The little boy I initially made it for, and then I changed my mind, did another quilt for him. I want to say it was 10 years ago.
Oh, wow.
here.
Oh, okay. So that's a
It's
while.
called- It's called. It was Henry Glass called Mummy and Me.
Oh, yes. Yes,
Australia,
yes, yes.
It's like they're all
The,
little
kangaroos and alligators and, yep,
was
it's
like
perfect for that.
Beautiful.
I kind of
So remember she said she bought it 10 years ago? Remember to look through your stash every so often?
This is a nod for
Hi.
my applique Tilda.
Oh, look at this.
So excited.
Tammy wasn't kidding when she looked right at Colleen when she said, "Who likes Tilda?"
Stop.
It's not. Oh my God!
Oh.
It's not nearly as.
Gosh.
Look at this. You come stand around front and
Stand
talk
around
about
front
it,
and talk
or we'll
about
hold it.
It'll hold.
Because look at this jewel.
I don't really love the quilt so much as I needed something to applique because I use it when I'm traveling, and I like the background quilt. So it's like quilted dance.
Isn't that
Isn't it
They did on it
gorgeous?
Was and this is another free Tilda pattern.
Yeah.
love it? That's really sweet.
Isn't it beautiful? Oh my
It was-
And her
gosh.
stitching is equally
Yes.
lovely.
Beautiful stitching.
IKEA commercial where they had the earth.
So this one's called Home Roots or Putting Down Roots, Hometown.
Really? Okay, that's that. I was going to ask where the houses come into the whole idea.
Gorgeous.
Pain in the ass.
How come it's not quilted, Colleen?
Yeah.
Just got pieced to get put together yesterday.
Really?
Oh, I'm
Yesterday?
so
Oh,
thrilled to see it.
so glad
I've been
you
waiting
brought
to see
it.
this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How cute is that?
Gorgeous. Wow.
And in case you missed it, Colleen said she loves the quilting part, and look at all
Yes.
of these open spaces as quilting
this amount
opportunities.
of negative space, what are you going to do?
That doesn't scare her like it scares the rest of us.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
How would I quilt that?
Yeah, because
And then I thought,
oh no, it's
quilting is good
gorgeous.
practice.
Mm-hmm.
Polka dot pots.
Oh,
Super cute.
I love it.
Oh my goodness.
Well done.
Very well done.
Thank you.
And it's big.
And I
It
have
is
another
big.
thing, more to your line too, and I just realized when you pulled out your pillows, I left them at home. It
Oh.
was Lilo Boutique Frank.
Yes.
at Trello.
Oh.
Well,
I did two of them the other day.
bring next
them,
month
bring
for
them
us to
next
see.
month.
But I
Please.
don't have
Yeah,
them.
bring them
okay.
next month.
Yeah, bring it
next
next
month.
month.
You'll make Tammy's heart go pitter pat
Yes,
if you
thank
bring
you.
pillows.
Okay, the pillowcase,
Very careful of that
the
cardboard.
cardboard. Okay, so
Here, why don't I take this one? There we go.
And I'm
Oh my
gonna-
gosh. It's heavy.
Bev, every time you bring this bag, I love it. I just love this bag. It's so cute.
Saturday and had it ready for the next.
So you all know you should never put your quilts into black garbage bags, right?
Oh yeah, I know someone who.
Yeah. Way too many stories of them actually being misinterpreted as garbage. So why not make a coordinating pillowcase?
Well, I don't know why you wouldn't make one in the first place. Never mind to store it in. Just if you have a bed quilt.
I'm getting that.
I'll bet you
Yeah,
did.
that's like bark to a tree.
And if you haven't done our hot dog pillowcase, it's a free pattern on our website. And you get lovely
Look at these
finished seams
pillowcases.
on the inside
French
and
seams, no raw edges.
and the lovely detail
Absolutely
of the
gorgeous
extra
pillowcase.
piece.
And have it match your quilt.
Match your quilt. There's a scallop border on this. Look at this.
Yes.
My goodness.
I was in and I wasn't. I can't.
Yes.
And you know what? I'm glad it turned out. the
It's
way it did.
gorgeous.
It would have been too
Oh,
much.
not just a scallop border.
That is Bo Diddley from about 10 years ago.
Oh, Saturday morning sampler. Wow. Oh my goodness. So sampler blocks in the middle,
Yep.
and look at your,
Are those medallions fussy cut?
Yes.
yes.
That's a
And
fussy
they're the
cut for
three-dimensional little bow
three-dimension.
tie block, and all of the,
This
that's a labor of love.
remarkable.
You mean you didn't just whip this up?
No. Was it a true labor of love by the time you were done?
Tammy, come and hold one side for a sec.
Yes.
I want to hold the top up just so that it can be properly seen. Here.
And
There. There you go.
really, and it's the flange binding too,
Beautiful.
done by hand and quilted on your own machine. Yes, Bev does her own quilting. Fall
Yeah, the feathers
show
are
circuit,
incredible.
No, 'cause
fair
it's away
circuit.
for Uxbridge, but it will go to Sunderland.
Okay,
Will it go to
and
Sunderland
so
Fair?
it should.
It's late
Wow.
for Uxbridge?
No, I'm away on.
Oh, I was
Oh.
going to say, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Just beautiful.
Nice job.
I was going to say, do you want me to take it for you?
No, it's too much competition. I don't want it in there.
Pat, be nice.
Think about it, Bev. If
Yeah.
you want me to take it for you, I'm happy to.
You're going anyway?
No, but I will take it.
Wow, jump on that offer.
It should. It's, thank you. This is just incredible.
And in the local fair, there will be lots of people who say, "Hey, I did that sampler," or "I should have
That's right.
finished my sampler." All of those kinds of things. That's gorgeous. Wow.
Pink person, but it's so nice.
Yeah.
But it would be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we're going to have to fold this afterwards, Tammy. I think we're going to have to refold this later
Yeah, we
to get it in the bag.
The last one I had done that was much that magnitude, I gave it to the transplant unit at Toronto General.
Oh, did you?
My husband had transplant.
Yes, he sure did.
My son's psychologist, it's helped him so much.
Isn't
Wow.
that lovely?
What a gift.
Amazing, amazing.
That's so
amazing.
nice of you.
That
I don't know, most of the ladies don't know me, but my son was in an industrial accident 18 years ago, and he's really challenged, brain challenged. So, you know, that he is able to, if he came in here and talked to you, you wouldn't know.
we're gonna fold it
I see the challenges at home.
Yeah, you both have worked really hard
Yeah.
with what he's been able to do.
You know,
so,
Bev, that
wow.
level of kindness is what we need in this world.
Yeah.
I wish there was more.
I know she likes
Especially
pink,
this day and
so I
age.
thought that one would work.
Oh, beautiful.
Now this we
So-
have to be
Just
real.
pull the cardboard right out there.
This one, can
Yeah,
I?
Pull it
Okay.
out first.
Okay.
There, now it's not rubbing.
Now.
What have you got there?
Nothing else to do. You did this.
Yeah.
I had 2 surgeries in the spring, so I wasn't able to sit the sewing machine, so I sat in my chair and I got it.
Cross stitch, didn't you just?
Welcome to the North Pole. This is a Primrose Cottage pattern. And I bullied Brenda into doing it too. And she completed it.
Is yours complete?
No.
Wow, Brenda, you get to chalk one
Yeah.
up for you.
Yeah, in fairness, did you not complete yours driving to Newfoundland? Was that your.
No, I would never do it in the car.
Oh, no?
Probably broke my leg.
I didn't mean while you were
I did
physically
take it.
driving.
We were there for 6 weeks.
Yeah, so that's what I seem to recall that, yeah.
Are you doing cross stitch classes?
We do, we are, yeah. Cross Stitch Club.
People who have no idea.
Oh, yes. So maybe that's something that we look at for part of PhD program.
No, you wouldn't know.
Coming in and doing something like that.
Maybe you need to start another one because your club
Yeah,
is
my club
full.
is full. My
Nobody
club
wants to
is-
give up their spot, do they, Tina?
No, my cross stitch club is full. But a learn to cross stitch is a whole other animal. So maybe I will look at, because I have had a couple of people talk to me about that. So
I think that's a good idea.
I think
Yep.
we maybe should probably put
Finding
that on.
a spot on the
I will let
calendar.
you know when I find a spot on my calendar for that. But anyhow, this
Hopefully it coincides. with
yes.
And-
This is gorgeous, Ben.
Yeah.
Just beautiful. I love it. Yeah, and I love all the the adornment down here.
Oh, we tried about 5 different, I laid them out 5 different ways and Ken goes, no, you gotta do it that way.
Yeah. Yeah, it's gorgeous. Beautiful.
Very nice.
Okay, and what else do we have?
There was more in the
Oh,
bag. Whoops! Oh, I didn't realize that was separate. Hold that little gem up.
Those are in the Love It to Pieces from
Yep.
Border Creek.
How sweet is that?
That's gorgeous.
Tiny little half square triangles.
Love it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's only ½ inch, so that's about the smallest you get.
Yeah.
Super cute.
Okay.
And there's a combination of piecing and
Yes.
embroidery. This is such a beautiful pattern.
Love this one.
2013 when my husband started
Yeah.
kidney dialysis.
Oh my goodness.
So
Hospitals.
this pattern, we actually just got back in stock because originally it's done in these colors, guys, and we got the pattern back.
So
It's
it looks stunning in
gorgeous.
that. I have seen some
Yeah.
in that colorway.
Yeah, yeah. So
So-
yeah, this is beautiful.
Nice job.
Oh, just gorgeous.
Hmm.
Yeah, really, really spectacular.
Now, this is all hand embroidered, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you draw. The,
You
you need
draw
a
it
light
and then
box.
you can
draw the design
draw the
on and then
design,
stitch
yeah.
over top.
Draw that on? You draw
Yeah.
it on,
Here,
and then
hold.
you,
I'm gonna grab another pattern in the black.
Okay. Yeah.
Just to show,
Yep.
just so people can see.
Gave me something to do at the hospital.
Yeah, if you're looking for some portable handwork, something like cross stitch or embroidery is a good thing to do. Not when you're doing the driving, but if you're in the car and you don't throw up from being car sick. I was always the kid who could read riding backwards in the station wagon way at the back. Never got car sick. Had the whole seat to myself. It was fabulous.
Do you think I could get blacks around?
there was one in red too.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was. So this one came out, so I just thought I would show you.
In the very bottom.
Oh,
Oh, okay. It's the bag that just keeps
it
giving.
really is. Look at this.
How sweet are these? You've been busy.
That warms my heart.
Oh, man. She's scoring brownie points today, isn't she? Well done, Bev.
Getting all my minis and stuff done there.
And another one.
And that one I didn't like the long
Right. So this was a class I taught last year,
Spring.
November.
Oh, that's winter.
But it was actually an oblong pillow, and Bev decided she didn't want an oblong; she wanted the square. So she reconfigured our bits and pieces, and made into this
A wall hanging.
wall hanging. Isn't this beautiful? So
Bev's given a couple to me, and I use them for my tables.
table toppers, yeah, absolutely. And her handwork is beautiful with the hexies, the English paper piecing, gorgeous.
I did that
Oh,
to
yes.
remind myself about doing cross stitch before I started
The big one. So this was a practice piece.
Simple threads. Now
That's an
that's half
advanced one,
size
though.
of
Yeah.
the one plus an extra row or two that they have here
So
in the store.
yeah, this was also a primrose pattern. I did this one. I did it in the large, but I put it on a 25 count, so it was 2 over 2. But this
That's 1/1.
1 over 1 is incredible. Holy
Very
cow!
advanced.
Isn't
Super
that
cute.
amazing? And with your beautiful little palms.
Those little stars
Around
look
the
like
side.
those, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually yes. I do remember when I was making this.
They look like a
Yeah,
Lemoyne
they're
with
really
a
a
sashing
Lemoyne.
in there.
Just phenomenal.
They used to be good strong glass.
Wow.
That was an amazing bag of show
Yes.
and tell. We'll help you
We're
to
gonna
pack it
repack this
after.
Yeah. Okay.
Nothing ever goes back in the way it was to start with.
Oh, look at these purples.
Pretty.
Beautiful.
That's, I won to go.
Okay. Thanks, Pat. We'll
Oh,
talk
did
to
you?
soon.
Okay.
That's what I got, was the purple fabric.
Yeah.
Oh, Marilyn, it's
But I had to
great.
do something with it, but I had to come back to the shop to do some more shopping for the stars.
Oh, lovely.
How beautiful
And
is
look
that?
at-
So effective. A couple of little
Little
coasters.
to go with it. Beautiful.
Nice job.
I like the compliment of this.
I do too. It works in there really nicely.
nice.
Yeah, Maddie helped me choose.
She does a beautiful job of helping with that. And
So-
look at this on the back.
On the back.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Nice job.
Nice job.
Pop quiz.
What I was going to do with this fabric. So I kept thinking and looking through the patterns, and that's what I came
Well, instead of it just getting set aside, you
Yep.
persevered and created something. So I was going to say pop quiz for all my Tucker girls. When we look at this block, what do we see? Maybe if you look at this one down here, the little house block done with the corner pops. Exactly. It's not a flying goose because there's no seam in the middle here, but a base square with folded corners, and I'm sure that's how you made the block, wasn't it, Marilyn?
I didn't know how to quilt it, so I just.
Well, you
Oh,
did a
the
beautiful
quilting
job.
is, yep,
Yeah.
it's perfect for
Gorgeous.
it. Yep, it just allows those stars to shine.
You know, if you win something, you got to show you're good.
Excellent. We had two girls yesterday who
Yeah.
came back with something from what they had won as well. That's
Yeah,
great.
that's great. I love it.
Super cute.
Beautiful colors.
Very
too.
nice.
So nice. I love these.
And Marilyn, you whip up table runners so beautifully
Yes,
and so
so
quickly.
quickly.
She'll go home with something and come back after the weekend and it's done.
Do we have anything else in this row? Oh boy. Okay.
Good thing I bought a bag full.
Debbie?
No.
Yeah. I'm disappointed in you.
And that's okay. It's not a prerequisite, ladies. Not to worry. It's just fun to
And
see
that's
what
that.
other people are
Oh.
working on.
Yeah, you know what? It is. It really can inspire. Sometimes
Yes.
these days, after we've seen what people are doing, we can go home and think. Do you have purses?
Did you make that?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Oh, it's beautiful. And the hardware,
Hardware
and
is
everything.
gorgeous. And what's this
And
one?
Janet has one too. Oh, and a
the red.
colored one.
Oh, this cork. I love this.
These are gorgeous, you guys. Did you take a workshop doing these?
Oh, it's not wearing great, eh?
The video that comes with when you buy the pattern, you could do it on your own. It's
Yeah.
really good.
Excellent. Beautiful.
Nice job.
Very nice.
Wow, good work.
Wow.
The cork is a beautiful, professional looking kind of, yeah, absolutely.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It sure does.
Yeah.
I was going to hold up this pretty little pile of fabrics. These are Jason Yenter fabrics, jewel tones. And I'm going to say, Kathy, can you hold up my pile, just cut yesterday before I left, and the black fabric that I'm going, the black as well, because that's going to be a sampler that I'm doing with a class. Look at these fabrics on black. How gorgeous is something like that going to be? We haven't had Jason Yenter fabrics like this in forever.
No, it's been
So-
a long time.
Oh, thank you. You.
Because you can't appreciate them. I've been snooping at them.
Anything in bright jewel tones like
Oh,
this just
yeah.
glows on a black background.
It just makes it
So
pop
it's a
right
black
off.
color works. There's no design on it that's distracting. It's also a lower price point when I need 7 meters of it. And it just allows all of those to just glow. So I have a club class that's doing, we're really venturing on the dark side, on the wild side, and doing a pattern by a designer from, her company's called the Modern Welsh Quilts Group. And yes, exactly. And none of it, of course, is Tuckerized. That's why they keep coming to my club class,
Yeah.
because I help them to Tuckerize it. But I've never done anything from this woman before. And yeah, they look so cool, and all kinds of components. Oh,
Here
look
we
at
go.
you
Look
two.
at-
Oh,
Perfect. Working
lovely.
a teamwork over here.
Thank you, thank you.
Yeah. Can I get you guys to come to the front? Just because I want this. We're on live now. and I
Oh,
would
yes,
really
and
like
they can't
for
see
this to be
the cameras in the room.
Yeah.
Little
Yeah,
shuffle.
that's it. Come on down.
Thank you. You
There
didn't
we
know what you were
go.
volunteering for there, did you?
Yeah. Look at the rainbow of these. They're just gorgeous. They've got an incredible flow to them.
So when I talk about it being a pattern done on black, this is what that club class. Yes, I
Yeah,
am.
She is.
So I'm going to turn those into this.
Isn't that incredible?
This is my Ruler Junkies class.
Yeah, just beautiful.
Yeah,
And the
so-
feel of these are beautiful.
Yeah, they have a different kind of feel to
Yeah.
a traditional. They almost feel like a screen print.
Yes, yes, they
Maybe
do.
they are. I don't know
don't
for
know.
sure if they are, but that's what they feel like.
They just touch it.
Oh, good or bad.
Yeah. So,
So just to say, you know,
Okay.
when you look at a
Thank you,
bundle of
ladies. Thank
fabric,
you.
sometimes it's hard to envision
There
what
we
you
go.
can
You put it
do
back
with
for
them.
her. Whoops.
Thank you, guys. You're very good
Thank you.
sports.
Yes.
Oh, thank you. Very good sports.
excellent.
And she helped me in with my stuff.
Yeah, imagine we're going to keep her. Yeah, we're going to keep her. Anyways,
So,
a huge, huge thank you to everybody.
yeah, great to
We
see you
are
all today.
So excited to have demo days come back, have everybody come, share what they have. I think it's just so important part of building our community.
Yeah,
so thank you.
absolutely.
Thank you, everybody.
And the September one is at the beginning, the first weekend of the month.
Yeah.
It's before, no, it's the weekend right after Labor Day.
Yeah, it's right after
Right
the
after Labor Day, but it's the
6th.
first Friday and Saturday
No.
of the beginning of September.
Oh, shoot. And I'm happy to say we did not, Dawn, have to use
I'll
these.
tell you though, I was worried when she brought this sucker out. It is heavy. I might have been looking for some reinforcements.
Anyhow,
Where's our little bucket for draw?
yes, I have it here. We're going to, everybody's in, correct? Now Pat did have to leave, so if she won,
Oh, did she?
we'll take it over
Oh,
to
I
her
didn't see her
later on.
sneak out. That's too
Okay.
bad.
All right, can we have somebody, you want to take a name for me, please?
Do we have the?
They're in the cupboard.
Oh, okay.
Janet.
Ooh, excellent! Yay!
You won something.
I did, I won something last time.
That's okay. It's a new month, my dear. What do you think? Nice choice. Look at those batiks. Tammy could actually touch them and get them out of the cupboard.
Well, I touched them. Brenda!
Yay!
Which would
Some
you
blues
like?
or some softy pinks. The pink one? Excellent. They're all luscious.
There you go.
It's okay if you draw your own name.
Yes, it is.
Sue Caswell. There we go.
our newbie.
What? And you know what? That's something we didn't do, was we didn't go around and ask if anybody was new either to demo or new
Right.
into our quilting family. So welcome. Thank you for coming today.
Yeah.
And see that you won something fun, and hopefully everybody got some new ideas for something new and different and exciting. And yeah, don't forget to put your name on the list. We'll uncover it again so that if you would like us to notify you, put your
When it
name and
comes-
phone
so
number.
that we can order enough. I
Yes.
think,
Yeah.
given, as I say, given the price point of it, I think it's really worth it to give it a shot. You might be really pleasantly surprised when you're working with some tricky stuff.
Yeah.
How nicely it turns out.
Yeah.
Okay? So there you go.
Thank you, everybody. It was a wonderful morning.
Yes.
Enjoy the rest of your
So
weekend.
thankful. Thank you. Thank you so much. I just want to get your full name because we put it in our newsletter who wins. Sue?
Oh, Linda's in the class with Kathy, who was helping to hold up those fabrics. Their group is called the Come
Okay.
From Away group. And it's so funny. They do a Wednesday
Okay.
full
There you
day, a
go.
Wednesday full day class.
Yes.
Yeah. And it's great because they all come from so
Hold
far.
on,
No,
Deb,
there's
let
room
me
in
help you
them.
in a second,
And
okay?
all of the classes are on our website. Sorry, Debbie.
Spelling on your
Yeah.
name correctly.
Okay, yes, yeah. There's a couple of full day Wednesday ones, but hers is,
All right, gals.
that particular class is starting a Studio 180 block of the month called Symphony.
You're
So
good.
it's a sampler, it's a big sampler quilt, that's what they're starting on, and it'll be their fall and winter semester.
I have an open invite
Oh,
for
those
you.
look beautiful together, don't they? We have them in fat quarters and fat eighths and jellies. They're all beside the main cutting table. If you want, they look great together.
These are gorgeous.
Nice job. Oh,
And for half.
oh, that'll be lovely. Absolutely, good score.
And what day of the week is it?
Oh, and that's
today.
So that where I was talking about this, it's a one-day class in November. I believe it's the 28th of November.
That might take that one because I started
Yeah, just be careful.
doing a
for
Lemoyne
when you-
Star.
Yeah. Because some of them
Yep,
have
yep.
But I haven't got back to it.
as well as
And it's one that there's
There's lots of
Yep.
stars that have to make because I'm making a laptop.
wonderful. I would love to have you join for the day. Yeah, there's already 3 people in the class, so I know that it's a go. It's not one of those, well, we'll wait and see if we get enough people kind of thing. I'll send out class prep soon so that everybody can start to think about what they need to get ready. That would be great, Marie. There you go. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
The yard work is done.
Exactly.
Okay. Thanks so much, ladies.
Do they?
And that's okay. Yeah, absolutely.
order me a pattern.
Yeah, any time I say to
Only
everybody, you
'cause,
can come and work
And your phone
on
number.
705 879.
It's just
lots of things you want to be spending time on,
to
and
get rid of some of this, right? Like, it's crazy.
Down because I'm just going to go and put this in my order right now as soon as I finish. Yeah. And
Thank you very much.
you're very welcome. Hold on, sorry.
I was agonizing over finding